but use the bracket command to post that in chat. Alright, this game is about to start. I can't pay too much further attention to administrative details. I want to watch this game. So hopefully my referees are going to be able to keep everything under control. And I will switch my attention over to this game. Alright everybody, welcome to the very first game of the very first round that we will be watching. It's actually round 2, but the very first round we'll be watching of Star-Crossed Cup 5. It's been a couple weeks of preparatory work, and we've received $386 in donations, significantly above the $300 goal. So thank you so much to everybody who donated, and a shout out to Major Bloodknock, whose name is actually scrolling across the screen right now, for his $80 donation and his his $81 total donation. That's very generous, and actually I'll also take the time out to give a shout out to Evil Tribble as well, the top donator, $100. Very generous donations from those people. They're the people who are very much responsible for making this tournament happen and bringing in some talent to battle against each other for our amusement. So thank you very much to everyone who donated, and special shout outs to those top donators. We've got Crazyman in the north base and Tomakaze in the south base. Crazyman going with Breakthrough Doctrine. And I haven't seen that too much in Auto Match, and I haven't seen him too much in Auto Match, so it's good to kind of see something a little bit different. It's not just Firestorm all the time. We're going to see probably Fusiliers, which are, of course, quite good on this map. And Tomakaze as Brits, as Commandos, Royal Artillery, and Vanguard operations. He's gone with double infantry section into Vickers, and he's getting himself a Bren carrier, so he's not going with just straight-up infantry section spam, which I don't know if you've been following Automatch or following my stream, but it seems to be a very popular British build, is to just go infantry section, infantry section, infantry section, all throughout the early game, get the 5-man squads. Tomakaze's going with a much more balanced early game here, and making pretty good use of that Bren carrier to really interfere with those Sturm Pyos pathing, and it looks like Tomakaze will be able to lose the first engagement, but did a significant amount of bleed using just a Bren carrier and an infantry section, and to be fair, the Bren carrier is still sticking around doing a pretty healthy amount of damage there. The Vickers sets up and will force a retreat on those Volksgrenadiers, so I think overall it looks like he is going to be taking the left side engagements. He does have to do a little bit of careful micro to make sure Sturm Pyos don't get a good flank off. 3-man Volksgrenadier squad comes up on the flank from the other side though. The Sturm Pioneers drew his fire just long enough that the Vickers was not able to suppress them again, and thereby are forced to retreat. So Crazyman actually will take the left side engagement by rotating this quite wounded squad into a flank. Nice play by Crazyman, and he's getting really good map control as a result of that. No Panzerfaust available yet, so the Bren carrier doesn't have too much to worry about, although the truck is done, so now there are Panzerfausts available. Perfect timing on that, actually. Although I don't know if he'll be able to destroy it. He doesn't have anything else available to follow up. So Tomakaze will probably just slowly reverse that back toward his base. Crazyman has a huge map control advantage right now. Tomakaze hasn't been able to dedicate any spare squads to capturing any of these strategic points. And having 1 fuel and 1 munitions is okay, but not nearly as good, obviously, as Crazyman's resource income right now.
Job done. Back in running order.
Red Wings, you missed check-ins. I voted for you with my heart, and you missed check-ins. What have you done?
The new engineer section is waiting for orders. Enemy enemy threatening a capture point.
Yeah, now he shows up. No Red Wings and no
A
Paul.
capture point. They're trying to take it.
Regimental headquarters advise. Panzer Fusiliers are ready for action. Regimental headquarters advise. Panzer Fusiliers are ready for action.
I'm talking to some refs about some administrivia, but anyway, back to the game. Couple squads forced to retreat. Bren Carrier rotating to work on this very isolated squad. All they really do is throw an incendiary grenade.
Flamethrower fitted and working.
And does actually force a retreat. Not really force a retreat, but encourages a retreat. I'm not even sure why those guys are retreating. Tomakaze sends a lot of squads back to base for whatever reason. But despite doing that, he still has very good map control, and Crazyman is not in much of a position to take map control of his own. He has gone Battle Group, and I feel like going Battle Group is going to really hurt him. I know that Battle Group is much more popular these days, but on a map of this size, you're really, really encouraged to go with a light tank or a light vehicle of some kind. The Wasp has the mobility, but without a looks to counter the Wasp and to force retreats, I think Crazyman's map control is going to be pretty tough. And of course, going looks against Brits is very dangerous for this exact reason, because the AEC can come out and just hunt that looks down.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
But I still feel like it's worth it. You just have to out micro your opponent. You just have to try and bait that AEC into a trap, get it off the field. I definitely think Over Commando West is at a disadvantage at this phase of the game against Brits. Once the mediums start coming out, maybe Crazyman will be able to turn the map control game around if he's able to survive that long. The main people who missed check-in are Paul and Red Wings. Paul was my number 2 seed. The only reason I say Red Wings is a main person who missed check-in is because I very publicly was rooting for him. Somewhat lower seed, but I like his playstyle. But for the most part, the top 16 seeds, or top 20-ish seeds, all showed up, which is quite encouraging.
Capture point is being overrun.
Yeah, and Crab Chicken the Bidoof. Who knows what happened with him?
Let's be off.
Mine hit over here with Tomakaze's AEC. Runs over a mine on his way over to the right side munitions. That'll get him off the field for a little bit. And Tier 4 is going up on the fuel point, so that should help Crazyman maintain control of this general area and prevent any fuel harassment attempts by Tomakaze. Once he gets a tank out, he should be able to clean up the Wasp and the AEC much more easily. Although he does have a Rakettenwerfer, so he does have some amount of firepower to use against his opponent's vehicles.
Back to full strength. Combat package received. Mobile command has been set. The static post is now in operation.
I agree, Ticinia. Missing it by just a few minutes does seem a little bit harsh, but once the brackets are generated, there's just nothing I can do. The players are already finding their opponent. Even one more person checking in completely redoes the whole bracket in many cases, so it just causes way too much confusion to try and get people in at the last minute, sadly. That's why we try and have a nice long check-in window, and Red Wings missed it anyway. So it is what it is. Ooh, nice snipe by the Rakettenwerfer, but the Sternpyos don't follow up. They missed their Panzerschreck shot. Wasp had a very good chance of going down right there, and the Fusiliers have started hitting the field. These 6-man squads, once they get the G43 upgrades, can be pretty tough to counter for many allied factions, but I think 5-man infantry squads with Brens can stack up against them quite well, actually, especially on a map like this. Long-range engagements more than mid-range engagements. You know, Evil Tribble, you actually can charge an entry fee through Matcherino, but I don't like to do that because I don't have a problem with no-shows. It's just a natural part of, I mean, I think that signing up should be as frictionless as possible. I just want people to sign up. And then if something comes up or they can't play, you know, that's why we have a check-in process. There's nothing wrong with not showing up. People can't play or decide not to play or forget about the tournament entirely. There's not really anything wrong with that. At the end of the day, we still have a great set of players playing. Sniper stumbles upon a Raketten. Ooh, he's actually taking a little damage there. I've never seen a sniper get counter-sniped by a Rakettenwerfer before, I don't think. At least not by the side guys.
Panzer Fusiliers assigned to the front.
Browsers, if your opponent is missing, please contact a referee and let them know. And in a Steam group chat or via some means, and they will try and get you in touch with your opponent. You can try for Kurahi. I believe Kurahi is the ref you should be trying to contact.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
Enemy bastards! Flank attack by enemy!
Send orders!
He's not watching. Gotta pay attention, Crazyman. There goes one of his Fusilier squads for no good reason at all. Plenty of time to react. He's trying to take down an AEC, but he just isn't going to be able to close the gap on that. Sternpyos are too far away. He does kind of have vision, but he's just not gonna be able to catch up, I don't think. Maybe a long-range ground attack. But he just gives up on it. He's got other things he has to pay attention to. He's got squads being forced to retreat all over the map. What was that noise? What was that noise? The Wasp just died somewhere. I have no idea where that happened. He picked up the Wasp in a very ninja-like fashion. There it is. Looks like the Rakettenwerfer must have sniped it from Cloak. Nice pickup for Crazyman. He missed out on his chance, if he had one, to take out the AEC, but he does clean up the Wasp finally, and he's up to 83 fuel. Needs to get his fuel coming back in, though. He's been cut off. Really struggling for map control at this
Heavy machine gun
phase.
ready for action. Target secure. Hold in place. Grenadiers back to full strength.
Mission accomplished. Pupa, prepare for action. Grenadiers.
183 viewers in my stream right now. Thanks everybody for turning out to watch StarCrossed Cup 5. Even though it is the early rounds, it's good to see that there are still people interested in the KO2 competitive scene. The one KO2 event being hosted on Matcherino right now.
Mission complete.
AEC makes its way back up the left side. Panzer Fusiliers and chasing it off a little bit, just parking in green cover for now, but the sniper is working on them. Crazyman has a much more stable map control situation while he preps for Tomakaze's next assault. There is a Centaur on the field, a very powerful anti-infantry tank. Quite difficult to deal with these days. Centaur plus AT wall is a very popular British build, and we will see one AT gun moving to support with it. If it keeps those together, this will be really difficult to deal with as we move into the mid and late game. There is still no Oberkommando West tank on the field, but Crazyman's made it up to 110 fuel. He's a little behind for fuel, I would say, but he will be probably going Panther or Panzer IV or whatever it is pretty soon, unless he tries to hold out for Jagdtiger, which usually makes no sense at all, but if there's any map where you could do that, Minsk Pocket is that map. Artillery gets called in by the sniper, and the base artillery on the Tier 4 structure is actually quite strong. I think that can bring that down to around half. We'll see how that goes. There's a pretty heavy assault coming in on that Tier 4 structure. Crazyman will have to counter this and push it off somehow, or he will lose that truck, and losing that truck can be extremely painful. Can be game deciding. Volksgrenadiers are moving to try and counter. There's also a small force hold up on the left side VP. Ooh, nice placement of the Raketten. I think he's going to get that Centaur for free. What a pickup right there. That Centaur had no idea there was a cloaked Rakettenwerfer waiting for him.
Orders coming in.
And Crazyman gets a huge break. Meanwhile, the sniper is almost picked up by the flanking Volksgrenadiers over here, which also very nearly die. Panzer Fusiliers are suppressed by the Vickers. Oh my god, there's so much going wrong for Tomakaze all at once. The AEC also just died.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
I don't know where that happened.
Supplies looking a bit squiffy.
Crazyman is getting
cut.
pickups left and right. He looks like he made some ill-advised dive right here with his AEC, and the Rakettenwerfer must have killed it, or maybe the Panzerschreck squad. Nice flank by the Volksgrenadiers on this Vickers. They have a pretty decent chance of a wipe here. Blocking the models a little bit, trying to buy himself some time to reload. Oh, it's gonna be close. There it is. Nice wipe. Crazyman really taking control of the game.
Enemy flanking us. Contact infantry.
Yes, that is definitely an MVP Rakettenwerfer right there. It killed the Wasp. It killed the Centaur. It was already damaged, but it did kill the Centaur. And it also was instrumental in finishing off the AEC.
Waiting instructions.
A capture point is being overrun.
I don't think I've ever seen such a stalwart defense of the left side VP. Normally all of the action revolves around the center of this map, but Crazyman had just enough over here left side to really punish Tomakaze's push. Brutally punished it, in fact. I don't think that could have gone much worse. So, Tomakaze is going to have to think about how he can recover from that series of mistakes. He goes with 3 AT guns, which is a lot of AT guns, and he's also going with the Brens on his infantry sections. Gonna go with a very infantry and team weapon heavy build, although he just walked an AT gun into a Panzer Fusilier squad inadvertently.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
And it looks like he may
Enemy
lose
causing
that.
trouble, trying to take one of our points.
A long trip home, but he does make it inside the arc of his machine gun, so I don't know that Crazyman could steal that even if he wanted to, which he does, and he will, actually. It's not quite able to see him right there. Oh, the sniper is actually rotating to deal with this.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
Meanwhile, the engagement mid has gone very poorly. I think the MG-34 supporting the Volksgrenadiers was able to force more retreats. 2 infantry sections with Brens, and a sniper just doesn't seem to be quite
We're
enough
losing a capture point.
to deal with this, and he actually didn't manage to snipe those guys, so 3 AT gun for Crazyman. And now a Panther's on the way. Looks like we're gonna see a holdout for Croc from
The
Tomakaze.
ability is ready now.
Once the Panther and a pretty British AT gun though. Is a pretty good AT gun. I don't know if a Croc is gonna be enough. This is best of 3 Strumming Bird. This is round 2. Almost everybody is playing in round 2 right now. Only 4 people are playing the first round. If you're finished, you can report your
Determined.
results
We are down
to
300 points.
the Steam group chat, and a referee will advance you in the bracket. Please announce your results in the Steam group chat. Referees will move you up in the brackets.
Enemy threatening a capture point. Supply line's been cut.
Infantry sections with Brens are no joke, though. For sure, they are strong. Even playing a little from behind, they are just so strong.
Service reporting. Positions ours. Orders, lads.
4 squads of Volksgrenadiers plus stern piles plus 2 machine guns, though. I don't think they're that strong.
Further orders.
Ready! Fucking infantry! Fire at me!
Position taken. Ready for more.
Nicely done, lad!
Something's taking enemy fire.
Point secured! Hold it!
Ready for orders!
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
He's got our range.
Fire on that! Missed! The boats are behind me! Flank us! Shit! Try to get a shot at our flank!
Man, these mines are detonating on just one guy are such a waste. They don't even, squad didn't even get suppressed.
They're working on the side!
A lot of munitions to kill one Volksgrenadier.
Secure. Service ready.
A capture point is being overrun.
A lot of squads being forced to retreat for Tomakaze. Crazyman making another big push for map control is about to have a triple cap. Yeah, Place your bets. Is he going King Tiger or Yag Tiger?
Enemy causing trouble.
As amusing
Try
as
to
the
take one
Yag
of our
Tiger would be,
points.
I'm sure King Tiger is the safer choice. Sniper's about to get caught out. Oh no, his retreat path is compromised.
The Churchill
Another
crocodile
really
is
good
ready.
pickup for Crazyman here.
The squad's gone.
How ill-timed, the crocodile just hit the field as well.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us. One of our
Crazyman
anti-tank
may
guns
have
is
an
gone.
opportunity here to steal another AT gun and decrew both. Man, these AT guns' positioning has just been all over the place. No support, no protection.
Our supply line's broken.
But it does look like Tomakaze's in a position to recruit, which will be helpful. And Crazyman had queued up a Panther earlier in the game, but he felt that his position was so strong he didn't need it, and has indeed gone straight for King Tiger. No Yag Tiger, sadly. If he had gone Yag Tiger, there would be a good chance that would be the only one we would see in the entire tournament, but nope, no Yag Tiger. King Tiger's on its way. The perfect counter to a crocodile, really. I think Crazyman has this one in the bag.
They're working round the side.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
Vickers is not facing quite right. It's forced to retreat. And the the crocodile just turned into reverse at the worst possible moment, right as the King Tiger arrives, takes engine damage, and I think it's already going to be destroyed. King Tiger is missing a few shots, but there's absolutely no way that croc is going to escape. 2 shots missed. Forcing him to tank a little extra damage from this AT gun. But no. It's going to take a lot more than a little good RNG to save that crocodile's
Tank has been destroyed.
maneuvering decisions. King Tiger takes a pretty healthy amount of damage from AT guns, but he's getting some lucky bounces. The planes aren't doing really enough. There's a Fiat firing at him, I believe, from some squad somewhere, but King Tiger's going to get away just fine. The crocodile has been picked up, and it looks like Tomakaze now has absolutely no chance of winning this game. Which means that Crazyman is very likely going to take this one with 284 VPs. Not a hugely high number. Tomakaze will have to try and win with a slightly higher number than that in Game 2 if he wants to have faction selection.
Trying to get a shot at our flag.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
Shadowlink, that is correct. Best of 1 for round 1. Best of 1 for round 1. Which was on Lost Glider. Only 4 people participating in round 1. Best of 3 for round 2, which most people are in round 2.
Working round
at medium range, Volksgrenadiers seem to do okay against
Losing a
that.
capture point.
They did throw a grenade beforehand, though. They did have to throw a grenade beforehand, but they won the engagement. Meanwhile, the G43 Fusiliers are up to Vet 4. 5, actually. And they should have a very good chance of being able to stack up against Bren infantry now. I think they're going to be killing machines. Of course, it probably doesn't matter all that much. There's a King Tiger out, and points are just ticking away. The only real reason to stay in this game for Tomakaze is maybe try and knock a few more VPs off of Crazyman before he loses.
We've 75 points left.
We're in trouble with the natives.
Suppress before moving.
Boy, break corners on it.
Anti-aircraft tank ready and waiting.
I just received a message that we're going to be seeing Cruz versus Dave soon. That should be a pretty good series. Based on, I guess Dave and Cruz have both already torn through their games. They must have really had some aggressive and strong openings if they've already won a best of 3
Enemy
on
causing
Minced
trouble,
Pocket, no
trying
less.
to take one of our points.
And are about to be ready to face off against
We've
one
got 50
another.
points left.
Somebody's shooting at us. Let's move.
I think Cruz notoriously does not play very much anymore Interloper, but he must still have just enough muscle memory left to make it at least through the his first round.
Tricky work. They're completely buggered.
There's a new Centaur on the field and now has a damaged engine.
Ticking over
Does clear a Rakedenwerfer and force a retreat, but King Tiger is on the hunt, making its way up from the right side.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
Rip.
Enemy got one of our supplies looking a bit squiffy. Line's been cut.
I'm working on our under fire here. Eager front.
Somehow
Looks like
Tomakaze
our
has
last 10 points.
managed to recover control of 2 of his AT guns, but it looks like they're about to be decrewed again. Oh, unless the Vickers gets a miracle save over here. Still, I don't think he can win this. No, he cannot. One of them has been decrewed by the Volksgrenadiers. They stood back up. There goes the other one. No anti-tank left whatsoever, and finally Tomakaze decides, oh, actually he doesn't decide, the victory points decide that he's done, and that means Crazyman will take the game with 284 VPs going into game 2.